Kia ora everyone, great to have you back here today with us as we catch up with Suze Miller, Director of Growth Practices at Datacom. Now, Datacom has been a stalwart of the tech industry for over 50 years, and it's grown to be one of Australasia's leading locally owned companies. Microsoft and Datacom have had a long-standing partnership going back many, many years, and we've really enjoyed working with the Datacom team and helping Datacom have a real impact on organisations across New Zealand, Australia and further afield. Now, having recently secured the Microsoft Intelligent Security Association membership, great recognition for the security work that the Datacom team are doing, and also having been recognised at the recent Microsoft New Zealand Partner Awards, Datacom is going from strength to strength. So today we're here to talk to Suze. Kia ora, Suze, welcome.
Kia ora, Matt. Thank you for having me.
Let's start with a little bit about Datacom. So, as I said, Datacom's been a real tortura of the tech industry for 50 years. Tell us a little bit about how it all started and what has Datacom evolved to be today?
Yeah, sure. Look, I don't know if many people would know this, but we actually started, as Matt said, over 50 years ago as a small payroll bureau based out of Christchurch, and that just over time evolved into also becoming a software organisation and then a bit later infrastructure. So now we have about more than 7,000 employees, mostly based in New Zealand and Australia, but also we have some further afield. I also believe we would be New Zealand's only homegrown, specifically IT company at the moment, and we're still locally owned.
The tech industry has grown over the past couple of years, and in large part to support customers as they navigate their way through the pandemic. What has Datacom's experience and knowledge been around that, and how have you helped customers through that time, and also how has Microsoft helped you through that time?
Yeah, sure. Look, we've seen a huge uptake from customers in new ways of working and digital adoption, but we've also seen, let's call it out. We've also seen some customers who have had a terrible time, and they've also needed to scale back their operation. I think, this has all been coupled with the challenge we've had around the increase of demand for digital skills and the shortage in the market, which we're all challenged with at the moment. I think where Microsoft has been really key for us in that is helping us by continued training of people in the market, but also the sustained training of those people to help keep the sustain the workforce so we can help our customers.
But let's talk about tech talent. You mentioned this before. It's one of those things that we hear about all the time, right across the tech industry. And as you said, it's well known that there is a real need for more tech talent in the tech sector. Tell us about some of the programs that Datacom has introduced and some of the initiatives that you're bringing forward to help on this, and how are they helping?
As you've mentioned, and I mentioned earlier, also we know we're facing a bit of a skill shortage at the moment, and that is across the whole market. So I guess from Datacom's perspective, our response to that is that we've made a real conscious shift to focus on how we grow talent locally. So this doesn't mean that we won't import talent as we can, but certainly our focus long term is that we grow talent. So we've got a number of partners we work with, so including you guys. So we work with you guys, Tupitoa, Te Pukenga, Take Two, and ARA, just to name a few. And we run some internal staff transform programs, so our internal staff can cross train across different disciplines as we, our technology services evolve. We work with you guys in particular on both technical and soft skills, noting that I think we're a people business first and foremost. I think we've put more than 50 people through your Women Rising program in the last 12 months. And we've also hired over 200 grads and interns. I want to say interns specifically because we're not just focused on hiring people with university degrees. We're looking for diversity in the way that we hire, because we think everybody, brings a different perspective to the table.
you've talked a little bit about diversity. Datacom's always been a leader in bringing new talent into the tech industry, and I think all of us would recognise that. But I'm really interested to talk about what you're doing in that space around diversity and inclusion. We know only 27% of the tech workforce is female, 4% Māori, and less than 3% Pacifica. So what programs is Datacom working on to drive that diversity inside the tech system?
I think, Matt, we've got a lot of people inside our organisation who are really passionate about this and how we drive that across our business. We support a range of programs to help bring people from diverse backgrounds into technology and get them excited about it. I mean, we do everything from talking to schools and universities and social media, but we also have some very specific programs like our Datacom Foundation program, which we've got up and running in Christchurch, which is specifically targeted at assisting those folks that have been impacted by the Christchurch mosque shooting. We've also got First Foundation, so we go out and help families where they might not have had anybody go through to tertiary education, and we help support them through that journey so they can get some more skills.
You mentioned a program that you're working on in Christchurch, and it just reminds me, the breadth of the coverage and the capability that Datacom has right across the motu, from, big cities through to the regions. You've got a great partnership with Kaitahu in South Island. You're really strong in local government as a sector, primary industries as a sector. So let's talk about a particular project which was based in Nelson with a primary industries customer, Sealord. It was a really exciting project. What was the challenge that Sealord came to you with, and how did Datacom help them?
Yeah, so Sealord were looking for a partner to help them I guess to be smarter actually about the way that they fish and their quotas and how they manage that to create some efficiencies within the business. So we work with them on a data and analytics solution to make them more efficient in the water and to help them manage their quotas. We help them by taking so they had 30 years of data in Sealord that was very rich data, but they just hadn't worked out how to use this necessarily in the right way to get what they needed. We took some real-time data from their fishing vessels and some satellite and environmental data, which we then ran through some advanced analytics, which just happened to be Azure-based and machine learning, and we were able to produce an accurate view of their past fishing success for some predictive modelling going forward.
And so presumably that's helping them be more efficient, more effective, reducing waste, what they can get to where they need to be quicker without kind of wasting time and fuel and some of those things? Yeah,
absolutely. So they've been able to be more accurately understand, kind of where the likelihood of success is for their fishing.
So Suze, thanks so much for joining us. We've loved hearing about Datacom's journey, but also about the wealth of experience that exists within Datacom and all the knowledge that you and the team have in terms of helping your customers and organisations across New Zealand. Hey, so to hear some more awesome stories like this, make sure you're following us on our social media channels and keep an eye out for some further videos. We've been really lucky to have some great people like yourself, Suze, so thanks again for joining us. Ka kite.